secret.
Damn.
It's a secret.
He was in a relationship for 11 years.
I had to fight that fuba for sure. It's because you suck. Great New York boo.
You gotta fuck her in the ear first. Feel that
Kill it.
Cliché.
Back.
Sex on
Sex.
Viewer
I guess
discretion.
everybody's probably wondering why we got a Sex on Sex podcast sandwich, but it's okay.
I mean, would it not be Sex on Sex if it wasn't?
Ah!
Sex on Sex.
That's why
I
she.
don't know.
That's why she's the guest. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm Charae.
So now it's my turn. Now it's my turn. Hey y'all. So earlier he hopped in on the mic check. He just glazed over me.
Exactly.
But now it's my turn.
All of a sudden you don't know your cue now, Aaron.
Y'all supposed to introduce me.
Tell you, yeah,
I'm
exactly.
the guest.
Thank you.
know,
Oh my
come on.
God.
Fucking up. I am the person that fucked up. I am Aaron.
Oh, so let's start this over. No,
Yeah.
let's start this over.
We can't
Okay,
start over.
No,
we
we,
live.
no, I know we are, but we gonna do this. We gonna act like it's brand new anyway.
Ooh,
Nah.
y'all got people watching.
Yeah, we got
Oh yeah,
people
most
watching.
definitely, most definitely. How y'all doing? Okay, as you can say, we got actual drinks this time. I'm Charae,
I'm Aaron.
and we are Sex on Sex
Sex on sex.
podcast, baby.
Sex.
Yeah, and we got some drinks. And
But who am
it's
I, though?
another episode.
Yeah, you
Can
just
you
talking.
let me lean into it? Oh my God! See, we're just gonna start the show because unfortunately, because this is our first time having a guest, we just kind of wing it on out there. You know what I'm saying? And I was gonna say, as you can see, we have a sex sandwich. See, I was gonna get into that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A sex on sex. So it's sex on sex, and the
Shameless
on,
plug.
we on Shantell.
Yeah, I guess I'm in the right spot. Just,
You are in the
You
right
are.
spot, most definitely. Tell them a little bit. You silly. Tell them. Tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
All right, I am Shantell Jamison. I am happy to be the first guest of the Sex on Sex podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. But I am a motivational speaker and author and certified life coach. My latest book, God Help Me, A Personal
gotta put
Guide
it
to
up so they
Freedom.
can see
Man, you
that
gotta.
shit.
This,
All right, here
plop
we go.
That,
That
plop
shit.
that,
Hold on,
baby.
they gonna see
Put
that
it up
shit.
there.
God
Y'all see
Help
that?
Me, A Personal Guide to Freedom While Here on Earth is available on Amazon and via me.
Bad.
All right.
Bad
guys
like
for
2,
having
3
me.
copies.
Thank
Okay.
you guys for having me.
Most definitely. No problem at all. We
Buy it
happy
for
to
your
have
father
you. You know
tomorrow.
what I'm saying? As you can see, when you came in here, you got to see the nits and cranny and why my boobs looking as great as they are.
You and your titties.
Yeah, they're amazing.
You love
It's
your titties.
Yes, that's actually one
I
of my
hope
favorite
you
assets.
better love them.
It's one of my favorites.
You love them.
I do.
They are nice.
Well, thank you.
So there you go.
Appreciate it.
Kudos to your titties. You work hard for them.
I
you know,
do.
you are. They are as much as a part on Sex as we are.
Yes, it's sexy.
Maybe
so,
even
So it's like
more.
Sex on Sex and Charae's titties.
Exactly. Got to give a shout out to Benita. She be mad that I don't shout her out.
Benita the titty fixer.
Yeah, she be fixing them titties.
Benita's
How
titties
did-
are nice too, by the way. There's a lot of nice titties on motherfucking Sex on Sex. I mean, I'm a
We
lucky
be
man
trying
to be here.
We be trying to invite
Lord
some of y'all to
Jesus.
come up here to be around the titties, but you don't be coming to see the titties.
So y'all, I walk in and I know we got to get to the stories and stuff, right? And I'm gonna get real serious for y'all, you know, because you
man.
know I got to do that. But I come in, Charae walked through the door. And I see Benita. I'm like, Benita, hey girl, what you doing here? You for the studio audience or whatever? And she's just like, you know, I'm more than that. I'm the boob fixer.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the, in the spotlight,
Everybody
knew.
knew.
she fixes Charae's titties, and then Charae comes in
Titties
and gets her
looking-
titties fixed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute. Can you
Get
what can
Charae.
you do for these little ones here? What can you do for these little butterflies? Can you make them
Make them
You
fly.
know,
Can
yeah,
they
just a
spread
little
their
bit.
wings?
But she couldn't though, so it's cool though.
It's all good and great.
It's all
Get
right
Charae's titties in tip-top shape.
Yeah, I mean, they're wonderful. And I've been eating a lot of cornbread all through my 28 years. So
Damn.
it is what it is.
Okay.
And I'm built like a Coca-Cola shape, and I appreciate the top part of the Coca-Cola.
All right,
It
so
is.
Shout
5
out to
minutes.
Mama for good genes.
5 minutes talking about Charae's titties.
Yes, because it's amazing.
And Benita the titty fixer.
Shout out to her. She has great New York
Boobs!
This is really crazy.
Yes.
Yo, I suggested that we drink before the show, and I'm about to
And we are
regret it.
dead sober saying this.
I'm about to
Exactly.
regret it.
But this is gonna kick in pretty soon. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all see, I still been sipping this. Y'all wonder what it is. If you guys wonder what it is, I'll tell y'all. Wait a minute. You can't.
That don't look
Oh,
good
wow.
on the screen. That should look like Everclear.
But you know what? It's green juice in here.
Hey, we do not have Everclear. We respect ourselves, okay? That is not
you
what
can
you
see
think.
it between my titties, though. Look.
Lord Jesus.
It looks
Oh,
green
my God.
between my titties.
Lord. Is Charae's titties doing the interview?
Ah,
What
okay.
they got to talk about? What they gonna interview?
So party and bullshit is what we do, but we gonna get right into this.
Let's get to it.
So we're gonna start with some random shit.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And our random shit that we're gonna talk about today is
What we gonna talk
is
about?
infidelity a deal breaker?
You know, that's a common thing. That's a common thing.
Yeah, kick it off, Chantel.
Miss
So-
Life Coach, let's get into it.
Yeah,
You know, I'm two minds of it, right?
Okay.
The first mind is that when it comes to infidelity, it should not be committed because you have committed yourself to another person. Anytime you verbally express the agreement of being monogamous with somebody, then you definitely should adhere to that. The second mind, because I'm two minds of it, is that you got to look at the reason for the infidelity. Now, of course, no matter what the reason is,
There is no
selfishness
justifier.
is a part of it, and rarely is there a justification for it.
You think that there is?
Yeah,
Okay.
here's where I'm coming from. So,
let me hear
for example, if a woman is in a situation where she is being physically and emotionally and verbally abused, then I would have a bit more sympathy in understanding why she is committing adultery or, you know, being unfaithful in her relationship than someone who is just cheating because they're cheating.
But do you think people just cheat because they cheat?
I know some serious assholes out there, man. I know some people that legit cannot control their libidos.
Wow.
They see somebody they like and they go after it and they move. They just straight up move through people.
Got
And
a
they have
strong
somebody
third
at home.
leg or
Do
the
you
pussy
think
be
you
dropping
think
too
you think
deep?
there's a reason for that though?
Wait, what? Wait. Okay.
No, I'm serious. This is a real question.
Did you hear what she said?
No, what she say?
I said they got a strong third leg or they pussy be throbbing too deep.
Wow. Wow. Okay. This is ignorant. as hell. Ain't no other way to describe this. Okay.
It's the way we like to keep it.
We keep it
To
real
get on
around
board,
here.
motherfucker.
We keep it real honest
I don't think I
And to
could.
the
I don't think I
truth
could. I could catch
and
up
real
to that level.
ignorant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
go ahead, Aaron. What were you going to say?
As far as that, well, I'm gonna go out on the limb and say that there is no justification for infidelity whatsoever. I don't care what the situation is. Once you make a commitment to somebody, and like you said, where it's monogamous, then you got to be committed to that. The minute it doesn't matter whether the person's treating you badly or not. The fact that, I mean, if it's bad, just break the fuck out. I realize it's difficult to say that because sometimes, you know, we hold a lot of things together. You might have a crib together. You might have joint accounts. You might have a business or and so forth. But the fact of the matter is that, I mean, I believe if you're gonna stick to it, just stick to it.
Some people get pushed away though. In
Yeah, of
defense
course they do.
what Shantell was speaking, if someone's getting abused, it could be the same thing with a man. If a man feels that his woman is being completely absent to the relationship or she's just doing things to abuse him. Let's say it's a dude who's getting used for money and he don't even know it because, you know, some guys are kind of slow in that aspect sometimes. It's, you know, same with a woman being slow when it comes to whether or not dude ain't worth nothing. But
No, motherfuckers.
but
no.
if he's noticing like, dang, she don't even pay attention to me, and then here comes some woman who sees him outside of the money and the dollar sign, giving him some attention, he could slip inside.
Yeah, but nobody would.
Left some error.
There would be no audience that says that he's right for that. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean,
It's
people,
understanding whether it's right or wrong.
Okay, I have something that I want to present to you guys.
What's up?
All right, because Aaron's point of view is that there is no exception for it. So
No, there isn't.
So from your point of view, if I understand you correctly, somebody cheats in the relationship, point blank, period.
Yeah, I've been cheated on. I didn't.
Point blank, period.
Period.
And you're saying, which is what I'm kind of arguing more with, is that it isn't as black and white. So I have a scenario for you guys, which is hella true.
Go ahead.
Because you know I have a lot of clients that are really, really dealing with some tough stuff. So
Yeah.
this is not a client, but it's a friend, and she's in a relationship. She's been in a relationship for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Her significant other expressed to her that she felt that she might leave her once she became more financially stable because she isn't that attractive. Now, at the time, my friend said,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Wait.
you know, it's a fear. What?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It is all around. It is all around. But, you know, on one hand, she expressed a fear, which you should be able to communicate with your significant other, your fears. But on the other hand, she introduced this whole other idea, this whole other very negative idea that my friend wasn't even thinking about. So while she, reassured her, it wasn't true. It wasn't true. And ultimately, my friend did end up cheating. And now she feels obligated to remain in the relationship because the woman has invested so much in her and in the relationship. Now,
So your friend did the cheating.
Yes.
She ain't shit.
But it's one
The one with the money, leave that motherfucker now.
But it's one of those scenarios where it's like I'm not justifying it at all.
It sounds like you is.
I'm not. No.
I'm not
No.
I can understand being pushed away. That was an example.
That was
of
an
the
example of being pushed away.
Because
That is.
listen,
Yeah.
some guys literally have in their mind like, well, she said I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it.
Yeah.
That's still not. That's a weak excuse.
No.
We're
No,
not
it's
saying
not an
it's
excuse. Yeah, it's
We're not trying to use it
Yeah.
as an excuse. What we're saying is
Yeah. What are you
you're
saying?
giving someone an opportunity to open up their heart, mind, and body to someone else.
Okay.
Right.
Then just drop it before you give your mind, body.
But if you
Okay.
already invested,
Somebody else.
it's not that easy.
Yes.
Oh, now it's not that easy, huh?
Okay, so here's the thing. Full disclosure, I am completely monogamous.
I was just about to say that.
I am a
Charae does not cheat.
seriously. I am a completely monogamous and completely faithful person.
Okay.
I choose to be that way.
Okay.
It's
I
a choice.
wholeheartedly believe that it goes against, especially for men, what happens internally, innately, biologically, and sexually. You know what I'm saying? It is a choice, just like cheating is a choice.
Right.
But it really is not as black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make it right, and all of that stuff. It's definitely wrong.
Yeah.
But to completely throw away a relationship because somebody cheated without first investigating the circumstances to which it happened,
I'll give you an
I
example.
think that's kind of,
I mean,
I
even
think
if you
it's-
okay,
I
let me
think-
ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Even if you did and you got the answers that you got, then what?
Well, here's the thing. It depends on the answers. Now,
Okay.
if the answers is, well, you aren't satisfying me, and I'm not satisfying my mate in a way that, you know what I'm saying, I just can't satisfy them, like if there's nothing that I can do, then it's time to go our separate ways.
Okay.
But if my mate communicates to me, like, hey, this is something that, I sought XYZ out, you know what I'm saying, and it's something that I can correct, and if I feel like the relationship is worth saving, I'm going to save it.
But see, this is my question now. Is that why couldn't that be? Why did it have to come to the point of cheating to now you want to communicate after you done been caught
Because
already?
sometimes you could be so deep into that insecurity or that specific feeling that you don't even see. It is an example of being selfish. So you're
Oh, it's
thinking of
selfish.
my feelings. Oh, I'm not getting this. She's not doing that. He's not doing this. They're not making sure this is going on. Do they even hear me? Do they even understand? And then you go ahead and be like, no. Well,
Especially
this
when you
person
try to talk
does.
to 'em, right?
Right,
Especially
exactly.
when
This
you-
person
yeah.
does.
I mean, but you're
Now
not
I'm going to
understanding.
cheat.
You're
You're
not
vulnerable.
understanding their.
Right.
I mean, you're saying the hell with their feelings too. I mean,
No. Okay, I cheated. I cheated before.
I never have, so I can't.
I haven't cheated since I was
Don't be
19
oohing in the
years
back.
old.
Come on now. I'm gonna
I
tell
was
you.
a little hoe
I
at 19, so I cheated.
You in this 19 shit.
What, that come up every episode or something? Okay, so this isn't a
dirty little whore at
justification.
19.
Now, I was completely wrong. I should have left the relationship about a year before I cheated.
It was
you know
a
what
year?
I'm saying? I should have. No, I didn't cheat for a year.
No, I'm saying it led up to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I let somebody in emotionally, and it got to a point where maybe 3 weeks before I actually cheated, I told my ex-boyfriend, like, hey, I had some male friends over here. It happened a couple of times. I had some male friends over here, and I was getting from them what I should have been getting from you. Now, nothing that happened physically. You know what I'm saying? But
It's an uncomfortable conversation.
But I don't
That
give a
male
fuck.
ego probably
but
was
it's real though.
I
No,
don't.
respect it.
It's like, look, I'm basically telling you, like, look, if you don't step it up, I'm about to cheat.
damn.
Sometimes you gotta
respect
do
that,
that, man.
I do respect that, though.
And I was trying to have a dialogue. Like, we hadn't had sex in 2 weeks, and while 2 weeks is not a long time,
Yes, the fuck it is.
No, it's
no,
not.
it's not.
It's not.
Not to have sex.
I know
not.
motherfuckers that haven't had sex in like 5-6 months.
That's really
nothing.
terrible.
That is bad.
that is
All right?
that's pretty bad.
That's
And
that's a long time.
and it wasn't that we hadn't been intimate in 2 weeks. It was that I noticed distance,
There was a-
and I
there was a
tried. It
change,
was a
yeah.
disconnect, and I tried to address it.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so in communicating and doing so, I'm hoping to open up the room, the line of communication.
Correct.
But in actuality, he shut it down and made excuses.
Well,
So,
he opened them floodgates for somebody else to bust that nut.
well,
It is what it
oh,
is.
you so raw with it, okay?
I just like to be honest.
But yeah, and so ultimately, I was
I
caught
get
at
explicit.
a very vulnerable position,
Right.
where I allowed somebody to capitalize off of that, and it doesn't make me a terrible person. It makes me selfish to a degree,
Right.
but I feel like my ex was being incredibly selfish because here I am trying to communicate with you and better our relationship, and you just like, oh well, whatever. So
Well, how long had you been trying to communicate that exactly?
okay, so.
Because if it's one
4
time,
months. 4 months. The
Oh,
last
well,
4
that's a-
months was when things really got rough. And then I cheated, and then 6 days later, I broke up with him.
So
man.
how in that 4 months, like how many times would you say that? Just rough estimate.
It wasn't a lot of times because I had done so much previously in the relationship in terms of.
So you had kind of given up almost. Like,
No. I didn't give up. It was more of operating in confusion. Like you want to talk to somebody, but you don't want to be a nag. You don't want to. You want to kind of do a self check and like look into your,
Yeah, and make
internally
sure it's
look.
not-
Yeah, and make sure it's not
It's
just
not you. Yeah, right. I
Right.
get you.
It's a lot of stuff.
And see, that's the reason why you said it's a deal breaker, Aaron. I say it's not, because for me, it gives you an opportunity, like, to ask them why, because then it gives you an opportunity to look at yourself, like, where did I fall short? Did I fall short somewhere? Was I not paying attention? Did I not see the signs? Or was it lack of communication? Where is it that we're falling apart where you feel you got to leave this relationship to get something?
Yeah, because
I may not be knowing that I'm not giving you, or you may have told me and I just didn't listen.
yeah, because if you think about it, actions are all information.
Yeah.
It's all information, and if you take that from a logical point of view, like I'm hella emotional, I'm also hella emotionally responsible.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm logical most times. So from a logical point of view, actions are information, and you take that information,
Right.
you realistically assess whether or not you can handle the situation as it is, or whether or not you need to proceed. But you don't just, oh, you cheated, it's over.
See, that's the
You know.
that's where I look at the logical part, because it's like, aside from all the things that you just said, right? Then logic would tell me that, hey, if this is the case and you notice this difference in effort and distance and all this other stuff, and the things are not getting better even after you communicated with them multiple times, then it's time to leave. I mean, it's
You're right.
very,
You're
it's
right.
very,
You're
that's
right.
as logical as it gets. I mean,
But
so
you
to
don't
make
you
this
don't want to
excuse-
you don't want to give up on, what was that?
They've
4
already
years?
given up on you.
Yes, I agree.
So-
I agree.
I mean,
but I'm not
why make
100% logical. We're not 100%
Why
logical.
make yourself look out to be the bad guy? I mean, you could have backed out
Well, he never
Before
knew.
it got to-
you
it
know,
got to
he
that.
still doesn't know unless you watching this shit. But you know.
Hey, Shantell's ex, she was busting it open.
Next week, women are better at cheating.
We're not even gonna talk about that.
Pay attention or play the dummy.
Yeah, we're not gonna discuss that because that's actually true. I don't think anybody, you know, out there in the interwebs would argue against that. So yeah.
I don't think so though.
Nah.
I don't think y'all cheat better, to be honest with you.
Well, what you think there?
I think that men are just more egotistical about being cheated on than women are.
It's
And
like,
it's just-
ain't no way
it's like
she's
a-
cheating on me type
No,
thing.
no. It's like that Mario Wayne song. Like, I don't want to know.
Well, that's why we cheat better because
No,
the women
he knows. He just doesn't want to.
Well, see,
And then when
better.
you find out, he out the door and kick you to the curb and
and
you become a
then he
trash
just
asshole.
like think about it. As a man, we have no women have a bunch of emotional outlets. Men don't have any. Not with women, not with men. If I tell you, hey man, my girl is out cheating on me, you know, I can't talk to her with like you're acting like a bitch. And then I talk to my boys about it. You're acting like a bitch. So well, see, I have no emotional outlets for my pain.
Well, you
Men
equate-
have to
wait,
have to deal with pain individually.
Okay, so
by
you
themselves.
speaking of something different. You equate better with people not knowing. That's not how I equate better. I equate better with getting away with it.
But no,
And women do get away with it more. Like
don't think they do.
think about it.
I
A
don't think
man
they
may
do.
know and still stay with her and not say shit to her.
Until he
And
knows.
then the woman got to nag and you know the woman will nag and deal with you, so you got to deal with the bullshit. To me, that's better
I don't know.
because we don't have to deal with the bullshit.
Because then
I
you
don't
be wondering,
think
like, where this chick at? What's
No,
she
I don't think
hanging
it's
with?
better. I
Is
think
that
it's
really
just,
her cousin?
I mean, it's still wrong.
And plus,
It's just stressful.
There's another
Yeah.
thing. There's also like a social stigma that's like worse for y'all because it's fucked up as it is. Like guys are expected to not be shit, you know. So when you hear of them cheating, it's like, oh, he cheated. You know what I mean? Like when a woman cheats, it's just like what? You know,
my
it's either
God.
like
It's
oh
like
my
what
God,
you do.
I can't believe what did you do exactly. You know, so
That's
but
why we
even
cheat better because you get blamed.
No, that's not better. That's right. That's not better though.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And
We don't
plus,
get no smoke.
I'm be honest. I'm gonna say something that a lot of people don't say. Is that a lot of
Say
guys
a lot of shit that
are
people
sloppy?
don't say, Aaron.
Good. A lot of guys are sloppy and they're cheating because they don't want to be there no more anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
They just
think
string
about
her along.
women like men. I don't get this. Men talk to men and they will say the most disrespectful shit and not give a fuck. They'd be like, your mama's a bitch, suck my dick, and they know something's gonna happen with that conversation. But yet when it comes to talking to women and saying, look, you fucking suck, man, I'm done with you, they are afraid of that conversation.
They are afraid of losing the pussy.
No, because they already got other pussy on the side,
But
so
they
it don't
want
matter.
yours. Why the else would they stay?
Because
They want yours.
it's because
It's
you
something
might
like
be
that
sharing the
snatch that
lease.
other
I don't
snatchers
know.
ain't doing.
You sharing the lease.
I know a lot of ain't shit dudes, right?
I'm telling you.
I know
So
a
it's
whole
like-
lot of ain't shit dudes, and one of my boys who really ain't shit, love him to death. He told me how he got caught
How'd he
up
get
by
caught?
one of his women, and he was like,
One.
"Yeah, exactly."
He's
And
committed to
Supposed to be
multiple.
his woman
Yes.
inside
There's only-
chicks. He got caught by
You
his
can only get
multiple
caught by
women.
one of those motherfuckers.
One of his women, and
The rest
what
of
did
them are side pieces.
and what did he say? He said, "I wanted to get caught."
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That's how I ended
what
up
I'm
sloppy.
saying.
That's what I'm backing you up, nigga. Damn, you know that's what I'm
Let
saying.
her
Like,
They
Speak her
want to
spill.
get caught.
he said, "I wanted to get caught. I just got
They
tired
get
of hiding
tired
it."
of hiding
Let
it.
And
her
then-
They
speak
do
her
it.
spill, Aaron.
left.
She cut me off before.
I know, you know.
She cut me off before I said I was
That's
finished.
not how you treat your guests.
Oh, I don't care. You know, whatever. Shit. I mean,
But no, you're right. This is like, that's how it happened.
yeah.
So that does like, it's not what everybody perceives it to be. Like, oh well, they're just work. No, a lot of times they just get tired of fucking hiding that shit, and they're just like, fuck it. I want you to catch me so this shit can be over.
But then some men are just dumb.
Yeah.
This is true.
They messy with it. They go between
Listen.
friends and groups and all of that
I've
stuff.
seen
and
women do
it's-
the same shit.
Yeah, I know.
well,
women are
be
not.
like
Listen,
that.
I've been cheated on, so I know the signs. Like, especially like all of a sudden they do the same shit men do. Like, they just start accusing you of shit. You know, oh, blah blah blah. Blah. It's just more justification.
That's how they sound. Blah, 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 blah.
That's how it sounds when you listen to
Like
it.
they just clown.
Sound like bullshit, right? So
Heck no.
no, so they start accusing you of shit that you're not even fucking doing, and it's just justification for them to be on bullshit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really the same. It's not that different.
Well, with that being said, Aaron still wants to make sure he cuts off all his cheating bitches.
I'm cutting that shit off.
I mean, it depends on the situation. I'm not going to say I'm staying. I'm not going to say I'm leaving. I'm going to say it depends on the relationship and depends on what's going on. Is the reason whether or not I'm going to stay.
Plus,
so.
I got another thing.
It
Is
definitely
that
depends.
Even after that, even after the fact, there's a whole, like, there's a pre and there's a post cheating. Because, like, after the pre,
It is.
then it's like, all right, now you have, it's almost like you start at the beginning all over again. Because then you have to build that, so now you're just going to wipe the slate clean? No, it's like you got to rebuild trust, all that other shit.
That's true, but the pre-cheating is what I'm worried about. Why the pre-cheating in the first place led to the doggone cheating.
Yeah,
So-
but then you got to deal with the like there's
Let's
emotions
get to
that
the
go
next
with it.
topic.
Oh damn! I was gonna
We
break
gonna
up
kill
the.
this.
I was gonna break up the.
What?
So I used to write for Ebony magazine. I actually wrote about this called "Life After Infidelity: 5 Reasons to Stay." I was, trying
To
to.
stay 5?
Yeah, 5 reasons to
Let me hear
stay.
this. I gotta hear that.
Well, it ain't. I didn't
Please
pull it.
give me a
I didn't
Oh,
pull it
now you
up.
want to stay on the subject.
Please, I need to know
Oh,
this.
now you want to
She's
stay on the
giving
subject.
5 of them though. 5 reasons to
Yeah,
stay.
I just thought of this, and so I am.
No, we need to go to the next subject.
I know.
God damn.
I'm
No, go ahead.
searching
What you-
I
for
do
it.
need to get to the next subject, but you're killing me with these 5 reasons.
Yeah, I need to find this because here it is.
You found it?
Life
All
after
right.
cheating,
Let's
5
get it, let's
reasons
get
to
it.
stay.
Let's
Yes. Yes. Okay, so
After this, we're going to go to the next.
the first one. Now, this more so, is from the perspective of, and it's on ebony.com and chantelljamison.com. Shameless
Shut-
plug.
Shameless
you know.
plug, shameless plug,
Shout
shameless
it out.
plug.
Shout it out. That's why she here.
Okay, so I've cheated and have been cheated on, and this
Okay.
is more so for the individual who has been violated and their trust has been destroyed. So,
Okay.
the 5 reasons. The first one is your significant other doesn't have a known history of infidelity, and I feel like this is very important because, people make mistakes.
Yeah, it's not a pattern.
It isn't a pattern, and things that aren't patterns can change.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that this is who they are.
This is true.
You know. Yeah. And so the second one, because I know we got to get to the next topic. Your mate has been genuinely trying to make the relationship work. I cheated out of frustration. It doesn't make it right, and it wasn't sexual frustration. It was frustration due to the lack of communication, and feeling like I was left alone like I was the only one fighting in the ring.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
real frustrating.
Yeah.
That is very
Yeah.
frustrating.
And that was my first time ever cheating in life.
Okay.
And
First,
yeah.
so it means
Oh, I'm sorry.
you see how you say it?
No, I mean, no.
This must not been the last.
It was the last. It was the last. I'm just saying. Okay. No, I promise you, I didn't have to bring it up in the
you
first
didn't.
place.
I'm gonna sip my tea.
So, and then the third one is not forgiving your mate is mentally draining you. So that means that you are holding a grudge, and you actually don't want to hold the grudge.
Okay.
Like you're purposely holding a drug because you feel like this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to react. But it goes against your spirit.
Oh,
How
no,
you
I'm holding
actually
that
feel.
motherfucker.
Well, that's how you feel.
That's how you
Yeah. 4. You are. I'm sorry.
I wanted
okay.
to say I'm just realizing that women are easier to forgive than men, and me and Aaron with our opposing point of views to just show that.
Yeah, it does. It
Go
does.
ahead.
And I'm like in the middle,
Right.
But I mean, I bet
I'm not
y'all.
forgiving that shit. Fuck you.
Yeah. So
Go ahead. To
That
the next
bitch.
and so the fourth one, you are still madly in love with each other. madly.
I'm not gonna be after that shit.
You still,
You cheat on me.
You dirty little
fuck
snack.
you. Bad motherfucker.
I'm just saying, you still
Go play on
like,
290 traffic.
It's something. No, I'm saying it's something still there, and I don't need the but I love him or but I love her, and that be it. Like, no, you can realistically look at your relationship and not want to walk away.
Yeah.
I would.
Like, not what? Damn it, Aaron, you suck. Jesus,
I suck.
You like a brick wall. You like a brick wall.
I
You ain't gonna let me say that down.
I'm the faithful one here, and I suck. Ain't that a bitch?
Let's get
Okay,
to the fifth one.
and so number 5, which is what many people may not want to hear, it may mean that you need to change. It may mean that you need to change. And no, I am not blaming folks for their mates' infidelity.
I would
but
agree with that under certain circumstances.
We just gave you a few. You ain't agree with them?
No, it's just I would agree with that if this was a continuous thing. You know what I mean? Like if you look at, it's like she said, look at behaviors, right? If you've been in a succession of relationships and you're noticing a pattern of you getting cheated on, it's either two things. Either because you just like these raggedy motherfuckers, or you're the raggedy motherfucker. It's either one of the two.
yeah, but it's still a healthy way when some kind of distress has been introduced into your relationship, your union, whether it's via you or somebody else, to internally reflect. Even if you do conclude that you ain't the issue. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to self-check.
Most people don't.
I know. That's why I wrote the article.
Let's move around. Let's move along. All right, I just want to shout out real quick that Satara May said that these 5 are great reasons.
Thank you so much,
I
Satara.
agree. I just wanted to give it a shout out. I see you guys going crazy with us having a guest today. We're not able to cater to your sexual needs right now. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to move along to the next topic.
Sadie.
Cater to your sexual. That just made my glasses slip off my face. Like, what? These boys, it's hot. Ooh, baby.
What?
She hot.
Y'all, this light, man. Woo!
Yeah, it's hot in this motherfucker.
It is hot.
I done lost like 2 pounds.
Just breathing.
I may not have to go ahead and cut that food I needed to cut, but let's get to the next topic. And we're going to, of course, get to our Kill That Cliché.
Wow. Oh, my
Tried
God.
to kill my ass, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
I still have trauma from that shit.
Yeah. You're still here. That's all that
I am.
matters. Yeah. So today's cliche is trust a woman's intuition.
You're gonna add more light now.
I know, he bogus. Like, don't you see my glasses slipping? Like, they really slipping.
We gonna be on screen like, yeah, so
Like, they slipping. He just added some more. We drinking tequila, too? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
tequila.
Tequila.
All right.
Producer hands doing his
Producer
job.
hands on deck,
I love it.
making sure our guests ain't too sweaty between the sandwich.
Here
Yeah.
we go, yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. So
right.
how do y'all feel about that? Trust a woman's intuition. Who wants to start?
I'm gonna start it.
Uh-oh.
I believe it's bullshit.
Go ahead.
I believe it's bullshit.
I believe it's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Because it's like, think about it. If you're so intuitive, it's like, why are you only intuitive when a motherfucker starts being on bullshit? Like, most people are not that slick. You know what I mean? Like, people are on bullshit from the beginning, but it's just like when you like a motherfucker, you want to see all the good things in people. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it's like, in my situation, like, I take people for what exactly they are. I don't try to make them no better, no worse. It's just, it is what it is. And when you do that, I think you have a more clear picture of the pros, the cons, and then you can weigh them and you can move from there. But I mean, it's just like, why? It's like, second of all, it's like, I don't know. Like, people are, if a person's trying to fuck you, they'll pretty much let you know that that's all they want out of that situation. You just got to pay attention to the conversation.
What do you have to pay attention to? Like, what is said in this
There's a such thing as
conversation?
being damaged and not knowing that's all you want and end up leaving after you skeet.
No, they know that they just want to fuck you. You got to pay attention to know that all they want to do is fuck you.
Go ahead, break it down like Shantell said.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Motherfuckers are not like. Maybe I can see it better because
I'm not
I'm
saying
a man.
you're wrong either. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just
want to hear.
No, it's like maybe I can see it better because I'm a man. Like for instance, like I'll go to a spot, I'll go to a club or some shit, and I'll see dudes talking to women, and I'll be like, he's trying to fuck her. And I can just see it because out of his like,
what guy?
Everybody's
Everybody's
trying
when they see a girl.
but not only
like,
it's not only that, but it's not only that. Like if the conversation is like, they don't really have anything to talk about. Like most
I
of
hear
all
what
they
you're
want to
saying.
talk about is just
I understand
the
what
physical
he's saying.
aspect of it. It's like don't make it out to be anything more than what it is.
Take it for what it is.
Take it for what it is.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I actually agree with Aaron. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel that women are more intuitive than men. I think that women just pay more attention because they're more emotionally invested. A man is equally as intuitive. He just don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm still fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, bottom line, he's not as emotionally invested. He's not putting up as much. Therefore, he doesn't have much more to lose. Now, most cliches are correct. And I guess if we wanted to make this correct, it would be, but it's only because women pay more attention. Women do all of the investigating. Women are the ones that's sitting up thinking and obsessing over a nigga who probably got like 5 other women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of kind of building her own team and dealing with whoever proves themselves to her. The issue is that a lot of individuals are damaged to the point where they are constantly trying to prove themselves to somebody else versus actually assessing who's worth their time. If you're not worth my time, I'm not going to deal with you. Also, if I'm trying to figure out if you're worth my time, I'm not going to invest as much because I don't know if you're worth my time.
This is a good idea.
This is true. This is true. All right, well, women's intuition. I would love to be able to piggyback on y'all, but I'm not.
Give it. Tell us about it.
It's that I don't look. I mean, women do pay more attention to detail, and guys, you know, sometimes they don't care. But I think guys don't let off as much as they care as they do. They just decide to brush it off. Sometimes they choose to not pay attention. Like when a homegirl says to her man, you know that ain't your friend, right? Like, man, that's my boy. We've been cool for like 10 years. I'm like, dude, that's not your friend. And then the dude will be like, man, we've been doing this, that, and the third. And you be like, okay. The next thing you know, he starts seeing all the signs. It's always been there, but he chose not to see them because nobody decided to put it in front of his face.
But he chose. He chose not to see him.
He did choose, but
I have a response for that.
even if it's not an intuition, that probably wasn't an intuition thing. That was probably just
That's
how my boy is.
No, that ain't
That's
intuition.
how my homie goes.
I don't see how that's
how
intuition.
he rock.
What I see is that he's made a move on her, and you pussyfooting around. You're not saying, look, he did this, blah, blah, and this is the evidence to do it. It's like, he's not your friend. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like, if he's not my friend, why is he not? How did you come to that conclusion?
And a woman can break it down for you. It doesn't always
They
have to
usually
do down
don't.
to a guy wanting to smash.
Well, in all
They
honesty,
usually don't.
here's my question. I mean, have there been other instances of a non-romantic nature where you are talking to somebody about your situation, whether it's, work or whatever, and whether they are a man or a woman, they are able to provide a different point of view because they are outside of the situation and outside of the relationship?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That isn't gender
Specific,
exclusive. Yeah, that's not gender specific.
Good point.
True.
Good point.
Good job.
I don't know. Damn, I mean,
This is why we have the life coach. She break down cliches.
But and honestly, Aaron, that speaks to your point from earlier from the other topic about infidelity, right? So it's kind of like men don't have a space to talk, right? No. So even if men do see something or pick up on something, it ain't like they could really go to their girl or go to their boys because you would be called a bitch.
Yeah, bitch, everywhere you go.
So it doesn't mean that they don't know, what's
They just
happening.
have no outlet to say it.
So I don't know. Me personally, I really don't, I don't know, man. I really don't rock with the whole
Cliche.
a man is this and a woman is this.
Yeah,
I'm a different type of woman myself. It's a
you
lot of shit that I do, that I am, how I act, that people would think is more masculine. It's just, I don't really allow these gender roles. It's like whoever is good at the shit,
Just
do
do
the
that
shit.
shit. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like so it's always kind of challenging for me to say a woman is better at this or a man is better at that. There are some things that men are better at and women are better at, but
Like
when it comes,
picking up 300 pounds versus
stuff like that. And then even if you
might
you
not
get
even
some,
be
you know,
good at
not even. I mean.
can't do that.
You
know,
know,
what I'm saying?
so I just try to, you know, tread the line and just authentically think about things from all angles.
I feel you on that.
But you know what? Another thing I have to say about the whole tuition thing
Go
is I
ahead.
feel like tuition is
Tuition?
I'm
We
sorry.
going to college now?
What the hell?
Damn, where we going?
No, the
Nothing
intuition.
about college tuition.
It's too expensive. But anyway, no, the intuition thing is just I feel like people only see it for people. Yeah, it's how the motherfucker. It's like people only see it for people that they're not interested in.
You said they only see it for
What you
people they're
say?
not interested in?
Yeah, like the people that they're not interested in, they see all the flaws in you that when they don't like you. But when they like you, they don't see shit.
It's that love flaw, that foggy glasses.
So that
and smoke
what
and
good is
mirrors.
that intuition then?
Because you ignore it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like to your point, it's like
Or
though,
you-
yeah.
It's not even ignoring. It's just you not even looking for it.
Well,
Because,
honestly-
like when you like something, because think about like a lot of people when something is good, you're not gonna look for things to be bad. You're just gonna take them for what they are. You know what I mean? Most people are not gonna look. But when you don't like something, you're gonna point to everything. Yeah, this.
That's true. That's why, like, when you out of a relationship, you be like, dang, the signs were always
I should have
there.
seen it or I
shoulda
knew it or
seen
whatever.
that coming.
And that's why you see it when it's too late because you don't like the motherfucker no more.
Tara May says people ignoring red flags because it feeds
Very
their
true.
interest at the time.
Very true. It's kind of like, right, so I took my friend car shopping last week, right? And she bought an Altima.
Why you ain't never take me down there?
Oh, you want to go? I mean, you know, shit. I mean, girl, you going back, nigga?
She's gonna go on Western.
Hey.
Western or Ashland, you gonna buy.
So
Let's get to it.
the type of car that she bought, right?
Uh-huh.
After the car was bought, I started noticing all of these cars, the same car on the street. And that's what you do. Like, even when I buy a new car,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, look at that car. It's the same car. So basically, you notice what you pay attention to, but you notice what you choose to pay attention to.
This is true too.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is
So,
true. It's those eyes, that tunnel vision. All right. Let me see. Great point, actually. I don't know which
Yeah,
point,
where it
Jackie.
that
but
was
we're-
at
but
the,
we
that was
happy.
at the, I had said the one where we kind of had that silence, and it's
Maybe
like, well,
that's
where do we go
probably
from
it.
here?
Where we go from here?
You
I
know,
don't
so-
know what to say. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Thank
We
you,
gonna get to the
Jacqui
point. Is it
Frost.
Jacqui?
I think is it, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna say Jacqui.
Okay.
Just 'cause
Sorry
it's
if
a Q
we
in
we
there.
mess up your name, you
We
know.
don't want to
Just say Miss
Miss Frost.
Frost if you
Miss
don't.
Miss Frost.
We want to respect your name, young lady.
Thank you, Miss Frost.
Yes, Miss Frost.
Thank you very much.
All right, we love you. Now I want to get to the next topic, but my producer left the room.
Producer, come back.
Producer.
Come back. Chilling and everything. Come on back.
Jeez. So we're gonna go to the next topic, cause Shantell shut me down. And,
No.
And then so we're gonna go straight to the secret DMs.
Oh shit!
These damn animations. Aaron, you look like you had too much fun with these
I
animations.
did.
It was
I
good
had a lot of
acting.
fun.
There is some improving in your future.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
All right, so
Uh-oh. I was trying to check to see the shit, and then it say I joined. My bad.
but
It's all good.
all right.
Don't look at me, producer. Don't cut your eyes at me. It's been a while. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hold on, I gotta cover the name. So oh shit, I gotta scroll down. All right. So the question is, I've been single for a while, and a lot of my friends say I'm being too picky. They're telling me to look outside my race, but I've never been physically attracted to anyone other than black men.
This is bad advice already.
Am I
Sorry. I'm very reactionary.
am I being too picky? Since when is it being too selective as a black woman wanting to be with a black man.
Okay,
This is a good one.
I think Shantell got straight to the point. It's bad advice immediately. Why every time someone feels in the black community, I've seen it in our community.
Thing.
Hold on, let me finish. Before I'm not even going to speak on other communities because I don't know. I just noticed it in my community. That when someone can't find somebody, you be like, oh, maybe you should try outside your race. Instead of saying, yo, you know what? Sometimes you do this. Or sometimes you look at things this way. You don't want to help your girl in other ways for her. Because to me personally, you attract what you put out. So if she ain't find nobody yet, maybe it's some stuff about her that she has not dealt with or taken care of, and she's attracting people that's bringing out certain traits that she puts out. So I don't even understand where that's coming from, because all she's gonna do is attract a white dude who do the same thing.
Thank you for saying that.
That's all she's gonna, that's all
just,
she's gonna do. Oh, she finds a black man who's a deadbeat daddy who runs around and likes to sleep on the couch and let his woman take care of him. And she gonna find a white man who's a deadbeat daddy who likes to sleep around and stay on the couch and let her take care of him.
Same shit.
It's the same shit. What is the point in trying to look outside your race? I had thought about it for like 2 seconds, but my black car started to shake and almost disappear and catch fire, so I picked that bitch back up and let it go.
I've definitely dated outside of my race, and but it's never been because it was suggested because I wasn't finding anyone within my race. But you raise a good question. You said, what is the point of suggesting that? And I think it's due to the stigma that white men treat you better. White men are more serious and all of that stuff. And in all honesty, I almost feel privy to that stigma as well, because I noticed something. And I think I may have posed this on social media when I noticed it a few years back. All of my, college classmates, who were white, were married at like 23 or 24,
they get married real quick.
had kids and all of that stuff. And I'm like, whoa, do they take it, marriage more, more seriously? And it's like, it's not necessarily that. It might be that they are just set up to do so.
Yeah, they are.
From an economic perspective.
They are.
From a
marriage.
I know for Mexicans it's definitely that way. The girl is actually that she doesn't leave the house until she gets married.
Yeah. And then when she does, she still doesn't leave the house. It stays there with one of the parents.
So. Yeah. And so when you look at it from the perspective of perception, as well as reality, I can see why her friends would definitely suggest that. Where they fail is suggesting something that is not going to work for her in the long term because she's settling. She's explicitly said that she is not attracted to these people. She's not attracted to these white folks or whoever outside of her race. And while you have to be open, you still have to be reasonable.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can't try to make something work with somebody who you're naturally not attracted to. It's a difference between not being attracted and just, man, I didn't look at you that way until now. That's
I don't like my meat pink.
That's different.
It is what it is.
That's different.
You racist.
I like it well done.
But yeah, so woman, I hopefully, to the woman who wrote in, not just woman,
it's
women it applies to.
It's that Don Julio.
Hey, woman.
Man.
Listen, buddy.
Man, it's that Julio. I'm sweating. It's just hot,
Hey, that heat is an extra drink.
Yeah, man. So
it's
it's
another side of you, Shantell.
Yeah, shit,
Jeez.
I'm gonna just take these off. They really keep slipping. They keep slipping. So,
Show them eyes.
Show your eyes.
Show them eyes.
I know
what you
nobody
working
really
with,
gets to see
Shantell.
them, but
Yeah,
but
I think
you
that's
know,
the first time I seen you.
I know. Well, hello.
Yeah,
So to the woman who wrote in, if you're watching, I encourage you, like Charae said, and Aaron piggybacked off of, to do some internal self-checking, some realistic evaluation, and also don't give up hope. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like when I don't even know if we call them lesbians, but women who date women because, well, men ain't right, so I'm gonna try women. And then they go and get a woman.
Right back.
Right. It's like you did something that your heart wasn't in. So it's not gonna work out. You got to set yourself up.
Get tired of that
You,
shit.
you got to set your.
She said it.
You got
Stay over there.
Okay, you gotta
Where
set
you belong.
you gotta set yourself up for relationship success. So I hope this was helpful. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all
I didn't say it.
Y'all crazy. Man. Damn.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
since I know the person that sent it, I'm just gonna say it specific to that person.
Uh-oh.
And what I think is that I don't think you look enough. I think you need to get out more and go to places where those people will be. You know, like just in my association with you, the places that you frequent are not places where these men are going to be at.
The
in
types
first
of men,
place.
yeah, that you
Or
desire.
the type of men that you're looking for.
That
So
kind of goes to what I was
it's
saying
just-
with attraction.
It's now you cutting me. So
I'm sorry, Aaron. I ain't gonna
you know,
cut
it's
you off.
it's the environment. It's the environment. I mean, whatever you want to be, you put yourself in the environment of which the company you wish to keep.
Most definitely.
So, I mean, that's really it. I mean, and it's just be as picky as you want, but just be realistically picky. That's the other thing.
And I have a question. Are these women that's giving you advice, are they married or in long-term relationships?
I mean, it really doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
that don't really
doesn't-
matter.
That doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything.
I
No.
mean, it to an extent, because it's
Not really.
Because if you, I mean, I'm not asking for them to put their particular like relationships onto you, but what I am saying is like you said, be it in that specific room, you running around here looking for people and you don't even know what a relationship look like. Sometimes that happens too. And you just gotta look at yourself sometimes to check your surroundings. That's all I'm saying. That's like saying I'm gonna be a basketball player, but I never laid a foot on a doggone court.
I don't see how that correlates, but
That's probably because I'm one person.
Well, here's the thing whenever I hear that.
Okay.
Because, you know, I give damn good advice. You know, I'm not going to be humble about that. You can read my advice, and it makes sense.
Okay.
And I'm single.
and
Okay.
And,
and you do.
yeah, thank you, Aaron. You know, and I think I'm not the only person that gives damn good advice.
I do
who's
too, and I'm
single.
single as
Here,
shit.
here it is. Here it is, though. Here it is.
Mine is subjective.
Here it is. Good advice is good advice, no matter the vessel.
Where it come from?
Yeah.
Good advice is good advice, no matter the vessel. And what I mean by that is that a person can easily assess your situation, right? Easily, because they're not emotionally involved.
Exactly.
You know, it is up to you to hear the advice, take what you can, if anything, from it, and proceed accordingly. Remember I said at the beginning of the podcast that it's all information?
Yeah.
Everything, how you feel, what you take in, it's all information. You have a responsibility to process it, though.
Yeah.
This is true.
And you have to process it for yourself. I know people who have been married for 10 years,
They ain't shit.
miserable as hell.
It's a motherfucker. Can't tell you shit.
You know what I'm saying? I was the side chick to one. You know what I'm saying? I
Finish
was.
my drink on it.
I'm just keeping it
keep
real.
It 1,000.
And then you go, you know,
I'll
you
keep
you
it
go
down
on their
for you,
Facebook profile,
Yeah.
and they happy as can be. You know what I'm saying? On social media.
Yeah, bullshit.
Right.
Like a motherfucker.
So you
That
can't
picture, but it ain't that damn pretty.
right. So you can't just go by that, because I see a lot of people putting up statuses and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But to your point, because I'm able to see stuff from every angle. I just am. You know what I'm saying? What you were, yeah, it's the Sagittarius, yeah. But you correct me if I'm wrong. What you were speaking to is like you were actually kind of speaking to Aaron's point, although there was a bit of a disconnect, because you was like, you know, hey, you got to look at who you're surrounding yourself by.
Yeah.
That what you want, it has to be in front of you,
Yeah.
and that way you know who to listen to as well. Which is
Yeah.
very important. So yes, you do need to mind the company you keep, but you also need to thoughtfully and carefully search within yourself and think about what you want. So
Most definitely. Just good stuff.
What do you think about couples that actually like post all that shit? Like, do you think like if they post more that means that they're actually really happy or no? Because I read a study where they said that the less you post as a couple, the happier actually.
It seems to be that way. Because
It
usually
is.
when you look down the timeline, you'll see a whole bunch of happy faces and all this other stuff.
And the next thing you
know,
know, they broken
gone.
up. Yep.
And then the people that be together forever, you probably
You
see
never
them
see 'em.
once or twice a year
That's
on the
it.
timeline. And then they've been together forever and they great. And don't nobody talk about nobody.
It's like I've said a time ago. Like I was
Minding
saying
their
how
own
like,
business.
but no, like you know, how, like it's like somebody that's happy. Like you can tell a couple is happy by how long the conversation is when you ask them how they're doing. It's like, hey, how are you guys doing? Oh, we're good. We're about to go to this place, and that'll be the end of the conversation.
Right.
Versus like if somebody keeps this drawn out conversation about their relationship is not good.
What if they're talkative?
No. Like when shit is good, you don't have much to talk about.
I think with everything, it should be a balance. I personally despise how much social media has become critical to validating a relationship
yeah,
in
most
general.
definitely.
Whether you are friends with your significant other or not, you're judged. Whether you post here and there or post consistently, you're judged. It almost puts pressure on you
content,
to post. It's insane, and it's just social media.
You think there's pressure?
Absolutely.
How
Some
so?
people, because people want validation sometimes.
No, but that's a more personal thing. I don't think that's a societal thing that pressures
Here's
you
how
to do. I think
here's
that's-
here's how it
That's
is,
what
and
I'm
I'm
saying.
scarred.
Go ahead.
I'm scarred. I
Go
like
ahead,
to use
Shantell.
personal stuff, right? So, before Facebook got all major, I had in a relationship with. We had these pictures up here and there. We did a lot
I
of
think
traveling
I
and
saw
all that.
it.
Yeah, you did. You know. And
That
so
cute shit.
we had all of these pictures up, but it wasn't excessive.
Right. It was like
Right.
here
It
and
was
there.
here and there.
Yeah.
But once I said changed it from in a relationship to single, you get a notification.
Yeah, and then everybody want to question.
And
you
everybody
about it.
commented, and people were like, "Oh my God, what happened?" Da 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 da, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera,
you don't
et
wanna
cetera.
have that conversation.
But that didn't bother me as much as my close friend, one of them. Good, I never liked such and such anyway, and all that
What
stuff.
the hell?
And so it's like, man,
That's
you know,
disrespectful.
right? And so
Yeah.
to me, like, I'm glad you single and da da da. So to me,
I've had that too.
And then I got a, because we were scheduled to go to a wedding in a couple of months. I got the invitation, and a woman scratched his name out. Damn. So I'm like, I'm reminded that I'm going by myself.
That's
Like,
vengeful
scratched his
and
name
shit.
out. You know what I'm saying? We ain't
this
friends
nigga.
no more either. Cause
Fuck
she,
'em.
But yeah. So and it's like.
That
I
sound
concluded like,
that's
you know
not
what?
fair.
She did a bunch of
That's
shit. So,
that's going extra.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm never putting it up what my relationship is again. And I know that may be extreme and it's not true, because over time, I find somebody probably will put it up. That's something that we will collectively discuss. But I hate that even has to be a factor.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think there's definitely. I've had to learn it myself. Is just like you really need to put boundaries, not even on your relationship, but the people that know about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like your friends have to.
Yes.
You have to check them and like, look, man. I don't give a fuck how you feel about this person. You're not gonna put this kind of energy on my shit. Cause I dated a raggedy bitch 4 years ago. Chantel, remember? So I mean, but it's just
She was that raggedy
you
Shantell.
see if raggediest.
Okay,
Terrible.
Go ahead.
But it's just I had to check, even though they had all the right to feel how they felt about it, because she was as raggedy as they felt it was. But it was just
I still
That's-
feel like I gave you objective advice though, even
You
though
did.
she wasn't shit.
You did.
And I told you she wasn't shit, but I was still like there for you. I didn't, I was still there. Just,
Oh, bro.
just saying,
But
But you're right though. I'm just because they
it's-
drug your ass.
Yeah, but like like I noticed with you, like you were just kind of like, but we have that kind of relationship, like to where like you'll sit there and you'll talk to me privately about it. Be like, look, I feel this way, da 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 da, and that's cool. But like when you're just like out on a post or you see me out and I post that, hey, we're checked in here. Fuck that bitch, blah blah. Like,
Yeah, it was
come
bad.
on, man. Like,
They
don't.
were savages.
Yeah, like don't do like I appreciate it in one hand because it's like it means that you're protective and you care about me. But in caring about me, I need you to have no boundaries. Like I would never do that to one of these people. I don't care how I felt about you. Like I that's a conversation I'm gonna have with you. There's no place for that.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of
just, you know,
a lot of friends and family members overstep their boundaries. That's why it's critical to set those boundaries because they do it in the name of I'm just trying to help you, I'm just being real, but it's not your place.
Right.
And you know,
and you're doing it more so for you than for me.
I believe in keeping versus having privacy versus keeping someone private. So
keeping somebody a secret.
Yeah, keeping somebody a secret. So you know, so it's that's what I believe in. You know, if you ask me if I'm with somebody, I'll let you know, but I don't have to give you any
and you may see a couple of pictures up, but that don't mean you getting details.
Exactly,
because that's none of your business.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. So
and plus, it's like the more people you keep out of your situation, like there's less voices to influence you about anything else. So it's just like
persuade or nothing.
No.
Yeah.
And I think like that's the problem is that when too many people know them, then it's like I said, there's too many influences and there's less communication between you and that person. Yeah. And then you're communicating the stuff you should be saying to them, to these strangers. And a lot of times people don't really give a fuck about your relationship. They're just looking for an excuse to gossip about some shit. Oh, well, did you hear about such and such? So it's just like, no, I'm good, G. You don't need to know that because it's none of your business. You don't have my best interest at heart. Right. You're just looking for something to talk about.
I had a friend who stopped by a couple of days ago, and he was like, you know what, I can't talk to our other friend, a mutual friend, about my relationship too more because she's too cynical. And overall, I have to stop talking to so many people about my relationship. And I was like, yeah, you do, because, you know, you talk to everybody about it. It's not just a couple of close confidants. And he was like, Shantell, I noticed that you don't really, you know, you tell us what's going on in your life, but you don't ask for permission. Or you don't ask for advice as often. No. And I was like, yeah, because I'm going to do what I want to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I feel like I know everything, but I know who you are. Right. And I know that by me telling you something, it's going to influence your perception of who it is that I'm dating in my situation. Right. So I'm very careful about what I bring to you.
People, Right, exactly.
Can't be trashing people and then
you gonna
go
moving
out. You're right, and then that's awkward.
And that happens all the time. That's why, like, I notice sometimes, especially as of lately, I've been really careful about, like, if somebody is like, well, you know, this bitch ain't shit, blah blah blah. I'd be really careful of saying how I really feel about them, because a lot of times, like, people will go back to that motherfucker, and not only that. They'll go back to him and they'll trash you to that motherfucker. So, keeping my opinions to my fucking self, or to the point, it's like, look, man, if you're not really trying to leave this situation, don't even bring it to my attention.
Unless you paying me.
I know another
if you're
thing.
Looking,
life coaching services, unless you paying me.
I don't
want to hear none of shit.
Hey, I noticed another thing, and I had to learn this in my past situation. Also saying too much to family, because you know what it is. Sometimes when you feel like you boo-hoo-hooing or you crying or you mad or you upset at your partner, and then next thing you know, you tell your family. Now you may have forgiven them, and let's say time go past and you say, you know what, I forgave this person, I'm going to move forward, and your family going to be like, I haven't. I still don't like them.
Yep.
And then they're all in your relationship, and now you're looking at your partner a certain way when y'all moved on and probably in a better place, but because your family has not moved on,
they never do.
It makes it hard for you to move on, and now you find yourself having to constantly defend the person, constantly having to say what you feel you need to say so they could get back on their good graces, and they never will.
And people pick sides too. Like
intuition, that's my main thing. Once you have your intuition intact, you know who to say to what. You know how to proceed. A lot of people go back and forth and bitch and complain to their close friends about who they with because there's confusion. They're not settled. Once you settled and secure in your decision, you don't need to ask for permission.
No, you don't.
Because that's what you're doing.
Plus, you can't trust everybody's opinions, man. Like, everybody's not rational. Everybody's not logical in the advice that they give you. Like, they look at it just like, and plus, a lot of people are not unbiased either. Like they'll take your side regardless of what the fuck you did. So it's just like, is that really the people you want to tell your information to? Because they're not going to give you good advice on it anyway. Whether they taken or single, by the way.
Right. Right. I don't
Good
know.
advice is good advice.
I don't know how much time we got, but I got one more thing to say because y'all got me rolling about this, like rolling on the ball, like not laughing. You know, well, clearly I'm not laughing. Okay, anyway. But shit, that was awkward. So I mentioned earlier that I'm emotional, but I'm logical.
Okay.
You know, and this is in relation to this given topic because when people vent to you, they're doing so because they are emotional. They are being reactionary.
Definitely.
And that's how being emotional gets a bad rep because they're not being emotionally responsible. So emotions are not the issue. Being emotionally irresponsible is.
Oh, definitely.
So before you talk to somebody, allow the feeling to go up to the top of your brain because in the back, whatever this is, I'm not a biologist, I'm a life coach, not a scientist. This is where emotions get stuck and people cannot allow the thought or the feeling to get past this part of the brain. Somebody comment if y'all know what I'm talking about. And so you have to really think things through calmly and assess whether or not you even need to talk to somebody. Because what you tell people, because you drag people in. I have a client, right? She was really upset because her sister had her move all of her things out of her man's house into their mom's house and just went back 4 days later.
I'd be pissed. The fuck? I had to call off work, motherfucker.
I'm like, look at this, God damn it. Here I am supporting your dumb ass.
Wasted a whole Saturday with you.
Oh my God.
I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me.
You wanna piss me off.
With
happens
friends.
often.
With friends. I can't tell you I'm moving stuff and then I'm like, yeah, y'all back talking again?
Yeah,
Okay.
you need time to process the information of the stuff that's going on, man.
You do.
Like that's not something you can just do on the fly. You know.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to have to get on out of here now. I want
I
to
had
go
fun.
ahead. Thank Shantell for coming and chilling with us. I want to go ahead and say this real quick because I was thinking about it. Hold on, my little booby is out of place. But so I wanted to go ahead and say this real quick for people that do not know or something that Shantell may have not even paid attention to, or Aaron. I want to thank Shantell because Shantell is the reason why me and Aaron know each other in the first place.
Well, look at that.
This is true.
This is true.
I'm always connecting people.
We actually met at her book
Release party.
So that's how me and Aaron met.
And here we are.
And here we are.
All together.
Yes.
So it's really appropriate where I'm in this sex on
Exactly.
sex
the first
sandwich.
one,
Exactly,
too.
the very first one. I thought it was perfect. I was like, the first guest is the reason why sex on sex is happening in the first place.
Well, I'm always happy when people can, you know, meet and connect positively and, you know, work something out where you can have like a meaningful relationship. So that's what's
And this is
up.
meaningful conversation too.
Exactly.
I think this is healthy for both men and women to hear this
Yep.
stuff.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah. So we're happy and we're glad. I hope you guys seem like you guys enjoyed it. I went in the comments and we apologize again, but we had a guest, so the comment section didn't get that much attention this time. But catch us again every Saturday at 5 o'clock right here on Facebook. Soon we'll be on IG and on YouTube. So stay tuned. We'll be everywhere where you'll be able to see us. I'm Charae.
My name is Aaron.
And we're Sex on Sex.
Sex on sex.
Fuck her in the ear first.
Fight the fupa.
All right, well.
See y'all later, man.